What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I am here for another one of my scouting report videos, my quick hitter scouting report videos. This one actually happens to be for our upcoming opponent, the Buffalo Bills. This is not my preview video. That will be most likely Friday, but either Friday or Saturday. That will come out, and this is just, to take a look at their performance and where they stand league standings wise and so on and so forth based off of their last game. So before I get into that, the numbers and everything, I just want to say that the Bills did lose this game, but I think overall people are really blowing it out of proportion. Now, I wish that this was an omen to come, that the Bills were going to suck and we're going to be able to easily beat them, etc., etc. I don't really think that's going to be the case. Again, though, this is not my preview video, so I want to focus on this. But real quick, I do think, though, that, the reason why people are blowing this out of proportion is because of the fact that the Steelers are overall a really good team, obviously led by Mike Tomlin. They've had, a winning record pretty much every single year that he's been there. They're obviously usually a contender for the playoffs. They're led by Big Ben on offense, and they got, tons of weapons at, receiver. They got Najee Harris this year in the draft. But that defense is elite on all three levels, right? The front line is obviously led by TJ Watt. They have really good linebackers with Devin Bush and a few of the others back there. And then that secondary is also phenomenal with a familiar face in Minkah Fitzpatrick. And so, look, like I said, I think that people are blowing it out of proportion because they were held to 16 points and, they got a lot of pressure on them and stuff like that. It was the first game of the season. They obviously got to shake off some rust and get, they're just like everybody else. But that defense is elite. They were the third overall ranked defense last season, and I think they could remain that this year or something similar to that. So anyway, let's get into the actual numbers, though, so we can take a look at it. So they did lose, which obviously was great, though, for us in week one because that did give us a one-game lead on the rest of the division since we beat the Patriots, the Bills lost, and the Jets lost to the Panthers. So we have a one-game lead so far and are first in the division for this week. So that was amazing. Thank you, Steelers. Also, my sister is a Steelers fan, so I do generally root for the Steelers when they don't play us. So thank you for that win. We really appreciate it, or that Bills loss, rather. And as you see, but see, even still, though, right? It was only by a one score, one touchdown. It wasn't like a blowout loss. And actually, at the halftime, the Bills were up 10-0. So, and the first half was very, very dominated by defense, and so was the entire game overall, as you can tell by the low score. Now let's get into the statistics, though. Let's see. So team statistics, the overall statistics, Buffalo had 371 total yards, and Pittsburgh had 252. So that's what the Bills defense gave up. Right, so as you can see, they didn't even give up 300 yards to the Steelers, right? So passing yards, Buffalo had 254. They gave up 177 to Pitt. They had 117 on the ground and gave up 75 to the Steelers. The Buffalo Bills were 4.7. They allowed 4.6 yards per play. The Bills did lose a fumble. Neither team threw an interception. The Bills were 44% on third downs. The Steelers were only 33%. Buffalo had the ball for 33-17, and Pittsburgh had the ball for 26-43. Buffalo had 8 penalties, and Pittsburgh had 5. So even if you actually look at a lot of those stats, based off of that, you actually might think that the Bills should have won. And I guess to some degree, that probably is the case. But, obviously in the second half, they could only muster 6 points, a couple field goals, and they weren't really able to do anything. 2 field goals worth of points, that's not really going to do you much, especially when, then your defense kind of softened up and at least allowed them to get, 23 points on you, right? So anyway, the Steelers, just for, again, defensive purposes, because we're not focusing on the Steelers in this game since we don't play them, but this is what the Buffalo Bills gave up. And the stat lines aren't that bad, right? Because the Buffalo Bills do have a really good defense as well. Ben was 18 for 32, 188 and a touchdown. Rushing, Najee Harris had 16 for 45 and only a 2.8. Chase Claypool had 1 for 25 to throw that in there. Leading receiver, they spread the ball around a little bit, but nobody really pops out, right? Juju Smith-Schuster was 4 of 8 for 52, and he was the leading. Chase Claypool, 3 of 5 for 45. Deontay Johnson, 5 of 10 for 36 and a score. Pat Freiermuth, 1 for 24. Eric Ebron, 1 of 2 for 19. And James Washington, 2 of 2 for 10. The only real reason why the Steelers are relevant right now is just simply because of the fact that if the Dolphins were to make it to the playoffs, there is a good chance that at some point they would have to play the Steelers. But other than that, obviously we don't really care. Oh, but real quick, I will scroll through these other statistics, so if you so choose, you can pause the video, take a look just to see what everybody else did defensively and in the kicking game, etc. All right, now let's take a quick look at the Bills and see how they did offensively and in statistics and so on and so forth. So Josh Allen was 30 for 51, 270 yards and a touchdown. Devin Singletary led the way for them with 11 rushes for 72 yards and a 6.5. Josh Allen was 9 for 44 and 4.9. These are things, though, just real quick, little spoiler, this cannot happen when we play them. First of all, they can't have a running back that has that kind of success, but even more so, Josh Allen cannot have this kind of success against us. He cannot be 5 yards a carry, basically, right? So, anyway, we'll get to that in the preview video. Stephon Diggs was 9 for 13, 69. Cole Beasley, 8 for 13, 60. Emmanuel Sanders, 4 of 8 for 52. Dawson Knox, 4 of 4 for 41. Gabriel Davis, 2 of 5 for 40 and a touchdown. Yeah, and so, man, and again, this is not the preview video, but they have a bunch of weapons, man. All right, so just real quick, we will scroll through the rest of this. Yeah, listen, Dolphins, it is going to be a tough game this week. You know, it's not going to be easy. They have a tough defense, a really good, really tough defense. I'm going to go ahead and switch over now to the league standings really fast so I can show you guys where they stand after week 1. But look, man, they do have a really good defense, and that offense is just ridiculous, man. And the thing is they don't really rely on a run game, so making them one-dimensional and forcing them to pass actually plays into their strengths. But if they have success in the ground, like, that's just a bonus for them, right? So, like, but also, of course, Josh Allen figures to factor in as part of that run game. Okay, so getting to these league standings, of course, as you know, these league standings are, oh goodness, these league standings are in a per game format. Obviously, there's still only been one game to this point, but let's see, total yards in offense, they are 19th in the league after this. And like I said, so look, their offense was like middle of the pack after facing probably one of the best defenses in the league and the Steelers. That's actually not that bad after just the one game when you take things into full context. As much as I hate to say this as a Dolphins fan, I fully expect, but I just got to be objective, and I fully expect that the Bills are going to round into form as the season goes on, and unfortunately there is some probability that that could start with the Dolphins this week. Anyway, so in passing offense, though, they're 16th, rushing offense 15th, scoring offense 22nd. Yeah, anyway, it's not the preview. I keep wanting to, like, throw in things that are going to be in the preview. I will get to that, so I'm trying to temper myself here. It's tough, man, because I do want to talk about it. But it is coming, so look out for that. Let's see. Defensively, though, and check this out, right? So even after, you know, because that's still a pretty good offense, too, I would say probably in the top half of the league, the Steelers offense, you know, they were 3rd in total yards after week 1, 4th in passing defense, 10th in rushing, and 15th in scoring. So, you know, the Bills do have a really good defense. Takeaways, though, after week 1, they're only 25th, 15th in interceptions, 16th in fumbles, 6th in sacks, and 4th in passes defense. So there is going to be some scare and some worry in this game. It's going to be a tough game, but we'll see, man. And just real quick, just for you guys to take a peek once again, if you haven't already, this is where the Dolphins ended after week 1 in the overall rankings. So with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Fins up.